What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Monday, October 13th. Now in today's video, we have to talk about what happened over the weekend, because boys and girls, we saw the largest capitulation event ever in history. And that was roughly around $16 billion in liquidations. That is historical. But how did Dog recover? Well, I'm going to share with you how Dog made an epic comeback compared to most meme coins. And also, I'm going to share with you possibly why the capitulation event did happen. But most importantly, the whale that specifically shorted Bitcoin and Ethereum prior to this capitulation is now depositing more Bitcoin to his wallet and setting a new short trade against Bitcoin and Ethereum. Is this a sign that we're going to experience another dip? Well, I'm going to share with you charting analysis about altcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance, and everything compared to the charting analysis that kind of shares with me that right now Bitcoin looks like it's ready to set up for another leg up, and that maybe this next capitulation event, if it does happen, is the last one. So with that said, let's go and smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. Okay, so let's just look over the past 7 days, not over the past day, because this is what I really want to focus on. As I mentioned before, because Dog is at 198 million market cap right now, we saw a huge capitulation at 200 million all the way down to 100 million. Yes, it actually hit 100 million in a flash crash. Now, I want to explain why this event happened, because it wasn't just Dog Bitcoin, it was every other coin out there. Every single cryptocurrency. Now, this is the wallet that you need to pay attention to, okay? Now, this wallet specifically, it said that this specific whale deposited around 80 million USDC to Hyperliquid, shorted Bitcoin within 2 minutes, and is still adding shorts, pushing it down to 700 in the process. Now, remember this specific post. I mentioned this in Friday's video, and this happened like literally just hours before the capitulation event happened. And shortly after, we saw this specific post by Donald Trump that basically said that he's going to put 100% tariffs on China. So what happened to the whole crypto market? Well, if you look at Bitcoin's price, you saw that Bitcoin dropped significantly over the past 7 days. In that day of Friday, on October 10th, we saw Bitcoin drop from 122 to 110. It actually dropped even lower than that based on what we were seeing in the charting analysis, not on CoinMarketCap. It went from 121 to 104,000 US dollars. That's $20,000 in Bitcoin's price that did a flash crash. So you must be wondering how many people got liquidated. Well, roughly within that time frame, we saw roughly 16 to 19 billion dollars in liquidations, which is the largest ever in history. This is 17 times bigger than the COVID event, and also 13 times bigger than the FTX event. So you're telling me that this liquidation event wasn't manipulated. You're telling me that because of 100% tariff that's bigger than the whole world locking down during COVID, or the fact that FTX completely scammed all their customers and we saw a huge capitulation within not just retail leverage traders, but retail investors as well. That's completely manipulated in my personal opinion. Now, some people are speculating that the reason we continue to see a large liquidation is because exchanges like Binance didn't allow people to close out their positions, meaning people who were doing leverage trading, doing buy limit orders or buy sell orders on Binance, well, those orders did not execute apparently, and these people were affected. And so Binance coming out of nowhere saying, we're going to compensate you, but it was really just a few hundred million. They really didn't allow full compensation on a broader scope. A few hundred million does not account for over 16 to 19 billion dollars. So people are speculating that Binance had a huge reason why the whole market capitulated to the way it is. But honestly, that's just one story of it. But right now, if you really want to know, Donald Trump out of nowhere just yesterday said that, you know what, he changed his mind regarding the 100% tariff. He thinks that, President Xi over in China is highly respected. And he even says that the USA wants to help China, not hurt it. Even Coffeezilla says, imagine getting liquidated because of the tariff fears on Friday, only to have it called off 2 days later. So obviously this was manipulated. And obviously you have to check out Coffeezilla's video, because he actually shares a video on his YouTube page that perfectly times this insider trader that shorted Bitcoin and Ethereum just minutes before Trump made these announcements and what happened afterwards. It's crazy. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you more about this guy in a little bit. But let's go back into Binance, because Binance was sending funds to Wintermute to sell Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum, and guess what happened just a few days ago? We started seeing Wintermute deposit those funds back into Binance. So whatever is happening, it's not just one entity, it's a whole different group of people and different entities that are manipulating the price. Binance is not out of the woods. In fact, I still think Binance is completely a sketchy ass exchange, excuse my language, but honestly, like, I just don't trust Binance. Binance is the largest exchange in the world, but because they're not regulated within the United States, there's no regulatory oversight, so they can actually do whatever they want. And Wintermute can go F themselves because honestly, they are a market maker that usually uses these funds to just keep the price of Bitcoin down, but also it affected so many different lives around the world. And so I think Wintermute and Binance can go kiss it. Now let's talk about this insider, because breaking news as of today, the Trump insider whale that made those short trades against Bitcoin and Ethereum just deposited more money as of today. Now on Friday, when he shorted Bitcoin at around 700 million and Ethereum at 350 million, well, guess what? He just deposited 40 million USDC in Hyperliquid and shorted 127 million against Bitcoin. So right now, as we speak, in total, he's shorting 300 million against Bitcoin, meaning he's predicting Bitcoin's price is going to go down. And today is Monday, October 13th. Now, some of you have been saying that this is just a wallet trying to trick people that we're going to go down. And then there's the other side that says, no, this guy's telling you that the market's going to go down, so we should believe him. So there's two different sides, and you really have to place your bets on what you want to do. You can either hodl during these dips, or you can have some funds ready on the side to buy these dips. But I don't think either side is wrong. I think pretty much just be ready for it. So I don't know exactly when this will happen, but I will tell you, when this hyper unit bear whale was shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum, it was a couple days before Friday. So we had to wait 2 days after he was placing those positions until the Friday liquidation. So the fact that he's shorting Bitcoin today doesn't mean the market will dip today. It could dip between now, the next 2 days, maybe even the end of the week. We don't exactly know, but he may know something that we don't know. So just be prepared for that. But let's talk about the recovery of Dog, because the Dog epic comeback did happen after Friday. So when we saw the whole market of meme coins capitulate up to around 50%, from 20 to 50%, especially meme coins like Pudgy Penguin, even SPX 6900, Farcoin even down 44%, Brett down 24%. You saw that Dog Bitcoin actually came back up and became the best performing meme coin in the top 20. It was ranked at 190. And you can see that it went up 70% from its local drop of around 100 million market cap to around 180 million market cap. That's impressive. Now, Bitcoin did flip memecoin, but it's now back down to 193 ranking. So we'll see what happens, but this is just what the price volatility is sharing with me as of right now. Now, let's talk about how Dog is trading on Cookie.fun. Because of all this great sentiment, you saw that Dog was the #1 good sentiment coin on Cookie.fun. That's just a foresight of how strong this army is and why I'm so blessed that Dog is not listed on Binance. Imagine if Dog was listed on Binance. It would take a 40 to 50 to even 70% correction, just like all the other meme coins, but we didn't see that happen because Dog, fortunately, was not listed on Binance. Now, another thing I want to share with you is killer tickers. He shared with you, which is this orange line where Dog on the Moon, in terms of sentiment, surpassed all these other blue chip meme coins such as Dog With Hat, SPX 6900, Brett, Floki, Pepe, Dogecoin, Trump, even Shiba Inu. Look at that. That is organic volume. That is the strongest army, strongest meme community that's real. This is the point of Dog, is that it's 100% community. All these other tokens are like 20, 40% community, and the rest are insiders, market makers, and exchanges. This is what I love about Dog Bitcoin. This is why the army is built different. And look at the top 100 wallets over the past few days. They have accumulated more than they have actually sold. As you can see here, the green is how much they've accumulated over the month of October. Now, next up I want to share with you is this specific diagram. Now, this is Benjamin Cowen. Definitely check out his videos. He's very realistic. He's actually calling for a top of the cycle by Q4 of 2025, which is just within the next 3 months. That's what he's saying out loud. And I think you should listen to him. He's really good at predicting things, but he's saying that maybe we're not going to experience, a massive bull market in Q1 of 2026. So he's saying that if anything, we're going to see Ethereum reach around 5,300, possibly in the month of October. And then you're going to see Bitcoin dominance return. And then you're also going to see Bitcoin reach new all-time highs, but then that will be the top of the cycle. But maybe altcoins will rally after that, because usually altcoins do rally after Bitcoin makes new all-time highs and rallies harder. I mean, like, just look at the Bitcoin monthly returns. Bitcoin is only seeing less than like 1%. It's not even 1%. It's not even 0.5%. It's 0.3%. Look at these other gains in the previous months of October for Bitcoin, from 60%, 5%, 30%, 47%. We're not even at 1%. So I think the month of October, we could see a massive pump for Bitcoin, and especially in November. But will altcoins and dog Bitcoin do well after that? Well, we'll see. We won't know as of today, but we will keep everybody updated as long as you stay subscribed to this channel. Now let's look at the specific chart, right? This is the chart that he was looking at, aka Benjamin Cowen. So you see how the total 3 USDT dropped to around this level, and then we saw an altcoin season rally back in 2017, but also we saw another one back over here in 2021, where we saw that 29 level be reached with the USDT against Bitcoin, and then we saw altcoin season. Now, does this actually count right here? Well, notice something. This is actually a wick. These are not candles. So does this actually guarantee that we're actually going to see altcoin season right now? Maybe not. Because we need to see candles, not wicks, to hit these levels. And so we could actually see further price action to the downside, meaning we could see altcoins lag behind and also Bitcoin going up before we actually see altcoin season that could begin maybe November of 2025 all the way up to Q1 of 2026. So that's my personal thoughts. But let's look at another diagram, which is others against Bitcoin's price. As I mentioned before, back in 2017, this is where we saw the level of others against Bitcoin's price before, again, in 2017, before altcoin season. The same thing happened over here. When we saw in 2021, we hit the specific level against others against Bitcoin, then we saw altcoin season. Now we're exactly at this level with just a wick, but we need to see candles. But maybe it's not candles. Maybe this wick is the reversal, but we don't know exactly at this moment. But look at the altcoins. This is the entire crypto market, excluding Bitcoin, excluding Ethereum, but it does have stable coins in here. It looks like it really wants to break out at some certain point. The fact that we haven't broken out just gives me a sign that maybe we will see that breakout within Q4 of 2025 to Q1 of 2026. So that's where I expect that maybe altcoin season will happen and dog will rally. But as of right now, this is where dog Bitcoin stands. As you saw, we saw that massive wick down to around 100 million, sharply right back up. It was massively accumulated, and we're right in this range again within this falling wedge. But notice the RSI did exactly what we need to do. Not only did it pull back, but it pulled back hard beneath the orange or aka yellow line. And now it looks like it has another chance to go up again. Because the reason it can go up higher is because it could reach levels like this. And when it does do that, what do you think is going to happen to the dog Bitcoin price in the month of October and November? I think it's going to shoot up. But I think possibly we could see, who knows, that liquidation event from that insider trader from Trump's team, or who knows where he's from. And he may actually see that we're going to experience another capitulation event very sharply like this. We'll never know, but that could happen. So place your bets wisely. And I want to give a shout out to BitMax Dog. If you haven't known already, today is the announcement of the winner of the 100K dog challenge. That's roughly around $200 US in conversion. So congratulations to BitMax Dog. You have just won 100,000 dog. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I will do more giveaways. I just want to let everybody know, thank you so much for participating. So ladies and gentlemen, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions. Could we experience another dip based on what this insider trader is doing with the market? Potentially. But with that said, could it be a trick to manipulate people to think that we're going down when really we're going back up, and that person in that position could reverse, close their position in their 5 million profit and just flip bullish and go long on everything? We'll pay attention to that every single day, and I'll try to keep you posted on a day-to-day basis. But until then, as you know, I'm always very bullish on dog. So let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding dog and moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.